if one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory, immune-supporting compounds wasn't found in a pharmacy, but right in your kitchen? And what if, for older adults especially, drinking a single cup of a carefully prepared herbal tea before bed could support the body's natural overnight repair processes, helping calm inflammation, support immune function, and promote healthier cellular recovery while you sleep? That idea may sound dramatic, but there is real biology behind why nighttime nutrition can matter, particularly after age 60. In this video, we're going to break down the science, the mechanisms, and the research so you can understand what's happening inside your body and how certain natural compounds may support those processes. But before we dive in, give this video a like. It helps it reach other people, especially people who do not have access to medical facilities, which can potentially help save lives. Drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from today. And don't forget to share with friends and family. First, it helps to understand why chronic diseases tend to increase with age. Many people notice that conditions such as arthritis, fatigue, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and certain cancers become more common in their 60s and 70s. This isn't simply coincidence. Scientists now recognize a biological process called inflammaging, a term that combines inflammation and aging. As we grow older, the immune system gradually becomes less precise. Instead of responding only to real threats, it begins producing low-level inflammatory signals more frequently. This creates a persistent background inflammation throughout the body. Over time, this chronic inflammation can stress tissues and organs, damage blood vessels, disrupt normal cell signaling, impair immune surveillance. Researchers increasingly view this low-grade inflammation as a major driver of many age-related diseases. Studies published in journals like Nature Reviews Immunology suggest that chronic inflammation may also influence the cellular environment in ways that make it easier for abnormal cells to survive. Persistent inflammatory signaling can weaken certain immune responses that would normally detect and remove damaged cells early. This is why discussions about cancer risk often include inflammation. They are biologically connected. Now here's where sleep becomes critically important. During deep sleep, the body shifts into repair mode. Several restorative processes increase. The brain's waste-clearing lymphatic system becomes more active. Immune signaling molecules called cytokines are regulated. Stress hormones like cortisol decrease. Tissue repair and protein rebuilding increase. DNA repair mechanisms become more active. In other words, nighttime is when your body performs maintenance, repairing damage accumulated during the day. This leads to an interesting question. What happens if you support these natural repair processes with compounds known for anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects just before sleep? Some traditional combinations, such as turmeric and ginger, contain bioactive molecules that have been widely studied. Turmeric contains curcumin, while ginger provides gingerols and showgales. These compounds have been researched for their potential to modulate inflammatory pathways, support antioxidant defenses, influence immune signaling, promote vascular health. However, it's important to keep expectations realistic. These ingredients don't destroy cancer cells in the body the way medications are designed to. Instead, they may help create a healthier internal environment, one that supports normal immune function and reduces chronic inflammatory stress. Another key factor is absorption. Curcumin from turmeric, for example, is poorly absorbed on its own. Research shows absorption improves when combined with black pepper, which contains piperine and a small amount of healthy fat. This is why traditional preparations often combine these elements. This isn't magic, it's biochemistry. These compounds interact with signaling pathways involved in inflammation and oxidative stress. Curcumin alone has been studied extensively, with thousands of published papers examining its biological effects. That level of research doesn't make it a cure, but it does explain why scientists continue to explore its potential role in supporting overall health. So the idea isn't that a single tea can reset your immune system overnight. Instead, the concept is more practical. Consistently providing your body with anti-inflammatory, antioxidant compounds, especially during the body's natural repair window, may support long-term health, particularly in older adults. Small nightly habits, repeated over time, can influence how well your body repairs, regulates inflammation, and maintains balance as you age. Let's start with curcumin, because this is the central compound that draws the most scientific attention. Curcumin is the primary active polyphenol found in turmeric root, the deep yellow-orange spice widely used in traditional Ayurvedic and Asian medicine for centuries. When modern researchers began studying curcumin in controlled laboratory settings, they discovered that it interacts with multiple biological pathways involved in inflammation, oxidative stress, and abnormal cell growth. One of the most important targets curcumin appears to influence is NF-kappa B, nuclear factor kappa B. This molecule functions like a master switch that regulates inflammation inside the body. When NF-kappa B becomes chronically activated, which is more common with aging, it can increase inflammatory signaling, promote cell survival pathways, and create conditions that may support tumor growth. Laboratory and animal studies suggest curcumin may help reduce excessive NF-kappa B activity, which is why it's often studied for its anti-inflammatory potential. Curcumin has also been investigated for its effects on apoptosis, the natural process where damaged or abnormal cells self-destruct. Healthy cells use apoptosis to prevent malfunctioning cells from multiplying. Some cancer cells bypass this process, allowing them to grow uncontrollably. Experimental studies have shown that curcumin can influence signaling pathways associated with apoptosis in certain cancer cell lines, including breast, colon, and prostate cells. This has made curcumin a compound of interest in cancer research, although these findings are largely from laboratory and preclinical studies, not direct treatments. However, there's a major limitation. Curcumin is notoriously difficult for the human body to absorb. Scientists describe this as poor bioavailability. When turmeric is consumed alone, only a small fraction of curcumin enters the bloodstream. Most of it passes through the digestive system without being fully utilized. This is why preparation matters. One key enhancer is black pepper, which contains a compound called piperine. Research has shown that piperine can significantly increase curcumin absorption by slowing its breakdown in the liver and intestines. When turmeric and black pepper are combined, curcumin remains in circulation longer and becomes more available to tissues. Another important factor is dietary fat. Curcumin is fat-soluble, meaning it dissolves in fat rather than water. When consumed alongside healthy fats, such as coconut oil, olive oil, or whole milk, the compound is packaged into microscopic fat particles that help transport it across the intestinal wall and into circulation. Without fat, much of curcumin's potential benefit may be reduced. Now, let's look at ginger, which plays more than just a supporting role. Ginger root contains bioactive compounds such as gingerols and showgales. These molecules have been studied for their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Some laboratory research suggests they may influence signaling pathways related to inflammation and abnormal cell growth, including the STAT3 signaling pathway, which is involved in cell proliferation and immune responses. What makes turmeric and ginger particularly interesting is their potential synergistic effect. They don't act through identical mechanisms. Instead, they influence overlapping but distinct inflammatory pathways. When combined, they may provide broader anti-inflammatory support than either ingredient alone. This is why many traditional preparations use both together. This combination may be especially relevant for older adults. As we age, the body's natural antioxidant defenses gradually decline. Protective enzymes such as superoxide dismutase and catalase become less efficient. When these systems weaken, oxidative stress increases. Oxidative stress can damage cells, accelerate inflammation, and contribute to age-related conditions. Compounds found in turmeric and ginger have been studied for their ability to support antioxidant activity and reduce oxidative stress markers. While they are not cures or replacements for medical treatment, they may help support the body's natural defense systems, especially when consumed consistently as part of a balanced diet. In short, the science behind turmeric and ginger isn't about a miracle cure. It's about how specific plant compounds interact with inflammation, oxidative stress, and cellular signaling. When prepared properly, with black pepper and a small amount of fat, the body is better able to absorb these compounds, potentially enhancing their supportive effects on overall health. Oxidative stress is a key process that becomes more pronounced as we age. It occurs when unstable molecules, known as free radicals, accumulate faster than the body can neutralize them. These highly reactive molecules can damage essential cellular components, including cell membranes, structural proteins, and, most importantly, DNA. Over time, this damage may interfere with normal cell function and accelerate biological aging. Particularly vulnerable are the mitochondria, which generate the energy your cells need to function. When mitochondrial DNA is damaged, energy production becomes less efficient, inflammation increases, and cells become more susceptible to dysfunction. Researchers have linked this combination, oxidative stress plus mitochondrial damage, to both the aging process and the development of many chronic diseases. Compounds found in turmeric and ginger have been widely studied for their antioxidant activity. These molecules help neutralize free radicals before they can damage cells. When combined, they may provide broader antioxidant support, helping reduce oxidative stress and supporting healthier cellular function over time. Sleep quality is another crucial factor connected to these processes. During sleep, the brain activates the glymphatic system, a specialized network responsible for clearing metabolic waste. Research from the University of Rochester found that this system becomes dramatically more active during deep sleep, allowing the brain to flush out harmful proteins such as amyloid beta, which has been associated with cognitive decline. However, chronic inflammation can interfere with this restorative process. Elevated inflammatory signals may fragment sleep cycles, reduce time spent in deep sleep, and limit the brain's ability to perform overnight repair. Supporting inflammation balance before bedtime may therefore help promote better sleep quality, creating a dual benefit: improved rest and enhanced overnight cellular recovery. To make this practical, here is a simple preparation method for a turmeric and ginger tea designed to support absorption. Start by bringing 2 cups of water to a gentle simmer, not a rolling boil, since excessive heat may degrade some sensitive compounds. Add 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, or about a 1-inch piece of freshly grated turmeric root if available. Fresh turmeric contains a wider range of beneficial compounds. Next, add half a teaspoon of freshly grated ginger, or about a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger powder. Then add a small pinch, about a 1/4 teaspoon, of freshly ground black pepper. This step is important because black pepper contains piperine, which helps improve curcumin absorption. Add 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, or alternatively a small splash of whole milk. Because curcumin is fat-soluble, including a healthy fat helps improve uptake in the digestive system. Allow the mixture to simmer gently for about 8 to 10 minutes, then strain into a cup. If desired, a small amount of raw honey can be added for taste. Drinking this tea about 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime allows the body to absorb these compounds before sleep begins. Consistency is key. Unlike medications designed for immediate effects, nutritional compounds work gradually by influencing inflammatory and antioxidant pathways over time. Some studies suggest that measurable changes in inflammatory markers, such as C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and TNF-alpha, may appear after several weeks of consistent intake. It's also important to include a few safety considerations. Individuals taking blood-thinning medications, such as warfarin, should consult a healthcare professional before using turmeric regularly, since it may have mild antiplatelet effects. People with gallbladder conditions should also seek medical advice, as large amounts of turmeric may not be appropriate. And this tea should always be viewed as a supportive habit, not a replacement for screenings, medications, or professional care. The bigger message is that the line between food and medicine is often closer than we once believed. Many plant compounds long used in traditional diets are now being studied for their effects on inflammation, oxidative stress, and immune function. Daily habits, especially consistent ones, can influence these processes over time. For older adults, this isn't just about longevity. It's about preserving energy, mobility, and cognitive clarity. A simple nightly routine, like a cup of herbal tea, may seem small, but repeated consistently, small actions can add up to meaningful support for long-term health. If this information helped you understand the connection between inflammation, sleep, and nutrition, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit. Small awareness today can lead to healthier habits tomorrow.